there, I'm Sara Kay from Serious Laughter, so I kind of head up the Serious Wellbeing team. What I deliver to corporations, companies, businesses all over the UK is laughter for the health of it. Actually, putting it into businesses is boosting up employees with happiness skills, with stress relief skills, and with team bonding skills. So what we do is simulated laughter to start releasing positive chemicals into your brain. Even glum chums can take part in sessions. And I'm a kind of a specialist in skeptics too, because we get a lot of those. So we do laughter yoga, which is laughter exercises, and simulated laughter really is not recognized by your body. So we start releasing those positive chemicals into your brain very quickly within about 3 minutes, and then it becomes genuine laughter. And what we do with genuine laughter is it's deep, hearty belly laughter. It is cardiovascular exercise, a nice, easy, accessible exercise for any abilities. And what's really good is actually knowing how it feels. So I'm going to do a little demonstration of one of the laughter exercises so that you can just see how you feel. If you can do an analysis right now of your stress level and your positivity level, and then we'll do one afterwards. So we're going to breathe into the nose for 3 counts, hold it for 3, and then out with a smile and a release of stress. It goes like this. So breathe it into the nose for 3 counts, hold it for 3, and then out with a smile. Exhale. And again, breathe it in. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and release it out. And one of our laughter exercises, I like to show how contagious it is. And there's another thing that's contagious, it's a yawn. So we're going to do yawning laughter, okay? So we're going to yawn as we breathe it in, and we're going to laugh it out. Okay, let's try it together. Let's try that twice more. And again. So not only are you going to release positive chemicals into your brain, but you're going to release around about 45% of stress with just one session, and that's like a minimum of 30-minute sessions. What also happens when we laugh is we get 25% more oxygen into our brain than we would normally get by just sitting still. And what that means is that we oxygenate our brain, so it works better and functions better, and we can concentrate better, but also we get great innovative ideas. It's very useful. But also we get more energy inside us when we laugh, which means that we're more productive as well as getting great ideas. And it's a super glue bonder. So you're bonding your team while you're laughing, while we're getting that eye contact. And although it's called laughter yoga, there's no yoga mats needed. And the yoga is just on the breath. So as I say, it's an accessible exercise. So we're actually getting that cardio exercise, but it's got loads of well-being benefits like stress relief and a happiness boost. And you basically get a spring in your step all day, which is really lovely for motivation. So great team bonder. Motivation, stress relief, and a nice little immune boost so that you don't get any sicky days. Okay, so if you're interested in this, please do email us at happy@seriouslaughter.co.uk. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sam Flynn. I'm a digital wellbeing and digital culture coach and trainer, and I deliver sessions in organizations on improving digital culture. So digital culture is how digital solutions are used within organizations and the impact that that might have on well-being of their employees, but also on productivity and performance as well. And I also deliver sessions on reducing smartphone use. And that has a really significant impact in the workplace, actually, even if it's personal smartphone use. Because if people are going home at night and spending 4 hours scrolling on TikTok, then getting into bed and spending another couple of hours scrolling on TikTok, it's going to have a big impact on their well-being. And of course, when they come into work the next day, it's going to have impacted their sleep. So they're not going to perform as well because their sleep has been reduced. It's going to negatively impact their mental health. It's going to reduce the time they have to bring more joy into their life, which is, of course, a really important part of our well-being, experiencing joy. So even if smartphones aren't allowed in the workplace, the reducing smartphone use workshop can be super valuable in really helping employee well-being, but also performance and productivity as well. So as an example of something I talk about in terms of digital culture, I talk a lot about digital distraction. So in a typical workplace, people are being distracted and taken away from task every 3 minutes on average. And it takes us 26 minutes to get our full focus back on task. So obviously those maths don't work out. If we're being interrupted every 3 minutes and it takes us 26 minutes to gain back our full focus and attention on a task, that means we never have full focus and attention on a task because we're always being interrupted. So that could be an email notification. It could be a Teams chat. It could be, a meeting invitation coming through, or maybe even too many meeting invitations, which is all too common now in the Zoom world. It's easy to jump on these meetings. So reducing digital distraction is hugely, hugely important. There's a really interesting study actually that Hewlett-Packard did, where they tested the impact that digital interruption, so notifications, the impact it had on IQ scores. And they found that digital distraction lowered IQ on average by 10 points. Now, in comparison to that, another study found that smoking marijuana reduced on average IQ by 4 points. So reduced, your ability to perform in the IQ test by 4 points. So digital distractions actually had double the impact of smoking marijuana. And of course, you wouldn't allow people to sit smoking joints while they're working. And yet we are allowing constant email notifications, constant Teams chats coming through. So that's why digital distraction can be a hugely negative thing for organizations, and something that we work on quite a lot when we look at digital culture is how can we reduce that digital distraction so people can get more done, but also so they're not being overwhelmed all the time by more and more things coming through while they're trying to get on with their job. So it's a really important thing for well-being as much as it is for productivity and performance as well. And it's also a really important thing for this as well, for our smartphones, turning off notifications. So we're not being interrupted, our screen isn't lighting up, taking our attention elsewhere is also really important. So I do talk a lot about that in the course on reducing your smartphone use as well.
Hi, I'm Julie Silver, known as the Vitality Fairy, and I help people to get more energy and vitality naturally through various ways, kind of what you eat and your lifestyle, in a kind of very non-preachy, non-judgmental way to help physical, mental, and emotional health. And I have been doing this, corporate wellness for well over 20 years, and I like to make it very interactive. So I'm going to do a little bit of interaction with you, and just show you a few things that I do that have helped me and that, I like to share. So the first thing I would say is with kind of nutrition, there's so much controversial and contradictory advice that people think, oh my gosh, they think they're doing something right, and then they read it and it's like, oh, computer says no. It's it's like a bit demoralizing because people think, oh, I don't know, whether I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And I would say whatever you're doing is the right thing, because we're not robots. We're not perfect. We've come in, to experience certain things, and, whatever you're drawn to is right. However, I would say anybody listening, it's all meant to be because you're ready for, even kind of making one simple change. So you can eat the healthiest things. However, if you're very stressed, then your digestion, it would be like if, a wild animal kind of came in and you thought, oh my gosh, what do I do? Do I, fight it, or do I fly? Do I run? You're not going to think, oh yeah, well, I'll just get some food from the canteen or something. Your digestion actually shuts down when you're under stress. And that kind of stress is just, the general, looking at emails and, having to make calls and, certain things, within family life, it's very stressful. And your digestion is not as optimum at all. It does not digest the foods that you're going to eat. So to me, that is the key. So what I want to do, and also people sat down all day, it's, you get very stagnant. And what we want to do is get out of our head and into our body. So I'm just going to show you, there's lots of different exercises you can do. But if you want to join me, even just like, kind of, tapping your body gets you into the moment. But something like, you're just doing a simple, well, it can be known as a qigong exercise, which comes from, well, it's part of Tai Chi, and you're kind of patting your lower back, which is your kidney area. So that's helping with, your kidneys, with your energy, with any fears. But it's also tapping on your digestion. So all your digestive organs are just getting kind of a little bit of energy, and it's bringing kind of the energy down into your body. And you might notice that you're actually breathing a bit differently from doing that. Just, little short exercises. I mean, there's lots that I can share, but that's just one simple one. And you might be feeling like, breathing into your abdomen. When you do breathe into your abdomen, you're actually in the moment, seconds, and your mind would not be aware of that, because when you're in the moment, your mind does not know. So, that would help you on every level. And when you're actually eating food, I mean, if, I've had like an hour or so, I'd love to kind of, or less, to show you, some of the foods. I like to take the foods in and let people sample them, because you've got to enjoy what you eat. You can read about something and think, oh, yes, that sounds healthy, and then eat it and then think, oh, I don't like that. Or you don't feel good with it. As they say, one man's meat's another man's poison. So what I would say is, visualize. If I said to you now, okay, think of a salad and then think of a hot stew, which one would you be attracted to? I mean, I suppose it depends. Obviously, it's cold weather here at the moment. It might be the stew, but it might be the salad. Your head might be going, oh, the salad might be healthier than the stew. But actually, the stew, is very kind of warming and nourishing. So that might be better for you. And it's finding things that are going to keep your blood sugar level more maintained and balanced, because what happens then, if it's not, you'll just want to reach for, say, something sugary or caffeinated, just to give you a quick lift. And sugar, talking about drugs again, sugar is 10 times more addictive than cocaine. So, it is very addictive. So what I like to do is show people healthy alternatives to sugar, different ones that people can say, oh yeah, I like that, don't like that, or, that feel good with. So, I would ask you now is, just have a think, is there anything that you're thinking, actually, I don't feel great with that. I didn't feel good with like anything like wheat, like sandwiches or cake. I mean, I used to love sandwiches and cakes and biscuits and everything like that. But I used to feel tired and bloated, especially if I ate a lot. But I didn't have any alternatives. And once I brought healthy alternatives in, it was like, actually, yeah, I don't need those now. I'm quite satisfied and fulfilled and feel better. Same with kind of sugar and like, any foods that you might be feeling, actually, I don't feel great with that. It's like, what can I have instead? Because once you feel deprived, then, you're going to be thinking about that all the time. So I love to give alternatives to so many things, and just show you little simple things, simple little exercises you can do during the day or the evening, you know, help to get a better sleep, help to feel more refreshed, and help to calm the nervous system, and just have a healthier and better quality of life, so you can be more productive, more motivated, and, you know, just, you know, as I say, work, rest and play more efficiently.
So, hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jill McGarry. I'm a consultant clinical psychologist that has specialised in sleep for quite a few years now. I first of all worked with people with learning disability and autism, and they had huge, and they do still have huge sleep problems. So it helped me specialise in that area, and I've gone on to do some further training. So hopefully I am a great expert in this area to complement everybody else within the wellbeing team. And I think we hear people talk about yawning, we hear other people talking about your digital phones. So yeah, there's a huge crossover, but hopefully I'll be able to offer some more specialist help. Because what I do is I do one-to-one work with clients, and we really hone into what their difficulties are, because there's lots of information out there about sleep, but you don't know which bit is important to you. And you could try everything. And actually, if you're trying everything, you end up feeling hopeless and helpless. Whereas actually, if you get the advice that's really crucial for you, it makes you feel more confident and more able to put it into place. I often think of myself when I'm working on a one-to-one basis, like a sleep coach, like a personal trainer. You know, you don't give everybody as a personal trainer the same program. You really look at what that person needs and wants from the process, and then make sure they're engaged and support them through it and tweak it as need be. So I offer one-to-one sessions, but I also offer workshops for companies, because actually lots of companies realise now they have a health and safety need to fulfill around fatigue. So often I'll run workshops to help companies, especially those with night shift workers or those that are working intermittent shifts, or are doing one-off emergency care type work, so that we can make sure those staff are being looked after. Because we know that if we don't get enough sleep, we make mistakes. We end up putting the milk in the oven instead of the fridge. We'll go upstairs and forget what we needed. Lots and lots of very small problems can happen in ordinary life. But if actually that happens in an important work setting, whether you mixing up chemicals or working with people with and their bodies, you know, those mistakes aren't as simple as just leaving the milk in the oven and it going off. We do know that people have died at the end of night shift working because driving home, they've caused a fatality, not just to them, but to other people. So there's a huge need for this. And I think when we're running the workshops, the staff recognise it, the managers recognise it. And then when people have their appraisals, they're more willing to talk about their need to improve their sleep or what the issues might be. And then we have an even better advantage, because what actually sleep does is it helps people to transition in conversation, talking about physical health, which often people don't mind, and sleep. Don't we all love talking about sleep? You only need to go for a coffee with somebody and you'll have a conversation about how well you slept last night. It happens to me all the time, even before I was a sleep specialist. But it means then once you've started having those conversations about sleep, it helps you move into conversations about mental health, which is all often far more difficult to do in an appraisal or in a conversation with between a staff worker and a manager, and even within a team. Because what happens when we don't sleep well, it actually affects our relationships, because we become more irritable and our ability to listen decreases hugely. So actually our ability to work as a team and have relationships that are healthy and good get affected. And then on top of that, you only need to add in some of the other effects of not getting enough sleep, in the fact that you feel more hungry and therefore you're more likely to put weight on. And then those are just the short-term effects. I could give a whole lot of the workshop details around what the long-term effects are for our health, which are massive. But all those factors, if I share them in a workshop, will give you an understanding about the benefits of prioritising your sleep, trusting it, valuing it, helping others protect it for you, but prioritising it. Because as we're talking about in other sessions, sometimes we don't prioritise it. We much prefer to be on our phones these days because they're so accessible and easy to use. So hopefully that's given you an idea of some of the work that I can do on workshop basis. But when it comes to individual work, it might be that somebody's got a very specific problem, like a hypnagogic experience, that we can work through and solve quite quickly. It might be nightmares, it might be sleepwalking, lots of different problems that might need some support in lots of different ways. And for some people, it might be just really bad breathing that actually leads to them having sleep apnea. Sometimes they need the kit and sometimes they don't. So yeah, there's lots of help that we can provide within the work that I do for the Serious Wellbeing team.
We know that as managers and leaders, the buck stops with us. Everything we do and say and every decision we make cascades down through our organisation. And the performance we achieve is only ever as good as the performance of the people that we are leading and managing. So how is your current leadership and management style working for you? Are you feeling fulfilled and enjoying making the vision you have become a reality? Or are you feeling frustrated and stressed and burnt out? Are you finding that there are impacts on your mental, emotional, and physical health? Are you finding that relationships are strained at work and at home, and that you're just not able to show up for other areas of your life right now because the way you are leading and managing is taking up all your resources? My name's Beth Penfold, and I'm a resilience consultant, and I work with the military, leaders, pissed off middle-aged women, and neurodiverse people to help them develop an amazing toolkit that gives them the resilience and confidence they need to be able to not just succeed, but do that without stress. We have this one precious life. We have so many things we want to achieve. Let's find a way to do it that is sustainable. As a leader, it's so important that you show up authentically, that your leadership is consistent. And you can only do that if you have all of your internal ducks in a row. And that means being in control of your thoughts, your emotions, and your response, so that whatever is going on for you in your organization, in your life, you are equipped to step back and look at what's going on and make the right decision for your organization. It allows you to be agile. It allows you to be flexible. And that resilience is the thing that will allow you to make a long-lasting positive impact on your organization. So if you would like to come and find out more, I run various sessions and I offer a free 1-hour consultation to talk about any issue that may have and to begin to find a way forward. So please feel free to get in touch.